Hello everyone, this is Thoughtful Salt, and this is Demo Man, a look at the indie games on the Xbox Live Arcade. This is Laser Cat by Monster Jail Games. It's a platformer adventure. Now, you might think, it says Laser Cat, similar a bit to Nyan Cat, which means this is an attempt to be funny. Well, yes, this game has its very own sense of humor. Based off of very old graphic stylings. Kind of like the Oregon Trail, which attempted to imitate the Commodore graphics. £1,000,000 British pounds sterling! I like that they had to enunciate that whole thing. Ugh. Now this game is charming in its own way. It is charming. Now, what is this game's gameplay like? Well, it's basically just a platformer. That's it. It's a very, very basic level design. In fact, looking at this, it looks like when Jonathan Blow was demoing Braid, he had very similar look in his demo, in his prototype. You can look at pictures of it, and it looks kind of similar. So, these levels are incredibly basic. I don't think they fit into the old style very much. I mean, look at that checkerboard style. It just doesn't really fit for me. Now, you have to navigate around and find keys so you can free your friend Owl from the whatever villain name is, I forget. And you'll notice that this game does have smooth controls, which is imperative in a platformer. It is the most important thing for a platformer to have, smooth controls. And then you find the keys and you have to solve a riddle. What is considered to be the most dangerous large animal in Africa? Why, obviously the hippo. Because none of those other animals were remotely large or threatening. Oh boy, it's lava. Now, the appeal of this game is obviously the fact that it's attempting to memify itself, if that's a word. I don't even think that's a word. Memify itself. Laser Cat. Nyan Cat, or however you pronounce that. Cats in general. This game is attempting to capitalize on the internet, which is fine. Certainly seeing the Nyan Cat game was a bit of a blast. I wouldn't say it was great in any way, but what are you gonna do? Cats rule the internet. Bow down to your masters. Do not feed the testers, by order of the wizard. Now, it's going for this old school video game aesthetic, of course. I mean, friggin' look at it. I'm not good at this. At least you have unlimited lives, it seems. If it has any problems, it's not with the music. The music is suitably epic, I would think. I mean, listen to this. It very clearly knows what it wants to do. It has a wry sense of humor about itself. Ooh, jellyfish. Deadly jellyfish. Must avoid those. The sound is pretty good too for a game that's attempting to emulate old school games. And the game has a nice variety of challenges from the jumping. It seems to have a decent enemy variety, but it seems like you can't combat them, you can't even touch them or else you die, so I don't even think that matters really, having different varieties of enemies in the game. I mean, look at that enemy. It's clearly redundant. It's already on a lake of lava. You can't touch the lava. You can't touch the enemies, so what's it gonna do? Birthday cakes. Well, if I had to fault this game with anything, it'd be the fact that it's a bit too simple. I mean, it has a nice aesthetic, but like I said with Ascent of Kings, I think that's how you pronounce it. Like I said with that game, a nice aesthetic does not necessarily mean your game is any good. Music's good though. Sound is good. story's a little vague, but it's got its own sense of purpose. If I was to go off this demo, I would probably pass it if I would like review it for my main series. This is good music. Listen to this. If I was to review this from my main series, I would probably, based on this demo, give it like a 3 out of 5. Which is a pass. It passes. But I also gave Halo 4 a 3 out of 5. And I said I wouldn't play this game. Obviously, those two games are attempting to do different things. But I'm just not feeling this game has any purpose in an era where we have games like Super Meat Boy, Braid, even any of the Mario games. It's noble that they attempted to recreate this era of gaming. But after a certain point, people have a right to say, well, what else does this game offer me? What else does this style of gaming offer us? Besides a sense of humor, which may or may not hit everyone's particular buttons. Well, it's a kitten. Kittens rule the internet. So, you know what, maybe I'm just blowing air out of my ass. Again, or my huge, impossibly huge head. Who knows? All I know is, after spending some time with this game, I don't think I would go the distance with it. It has a charming sense of humor, charming aesthetic, really good chiptune music. But it's just, this demo wouldn't convince me that it's worth investing some time into to experience any other depth it may have. And in the end, that's the purpose of this series, to find out firsthand if this game is any good. In the demo, to see if we will buy it, play it all the way through. What are some demos that have convinced me to buy the full game? SDGT, that was a good game. Rez, I bought that game after playing the demo and I was like, shut up and take my money. And this game just does not have that for me, unfortunately. Braid did it for me, weirdly enough, even though I ended up not playing that. I haven't really played that game yet, but the demo convinced me to buy it. Unfortunately, with indie games, it's assumed that just because you have a lower budget, your game is automatically better. No, it's not. AAA games are there for a reason. They are designed to have more depth. Indie games like this, in their limited scope, have to succeed within those limitations. They can't just say, well, I'm an indie platformer, so I'm just going to throw a couple of platforms here, a couple of enemies here, just throw basic jumping skills in and have a weird sense of humor because quirky. No, you can't do that. You have to succeed within those limitations and provide an experience within those limitations. Games like Tetris does that. Rez does that. Within its 5 missions, it delivers a gorgeous experience. Unfortunately, the demo for this game just has not convinced me, and I don't think you should play it. This has been Thoughtful Salt, and I'll see you next time.